question 4 of the grade 10 term 1 maths test. So this question we can see is all about solving for x, solving for y, so solving for different variables, either in just equations or in inequalities. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I hope it helps. So let's get straight in. So question 4.1, we need to solve for x. So 4.1.1. Okay, so 15 minus 3x is equal to 2x minus 25. Okay, so with a question like this, if it's an equation like this, you're trying to solve for x, you always want to try and get it into the form where you have just x on one side and just numbers on the other side. So that is what we are aiming for with this one. So what I would do first of all is I would take my x's to one side and my numbers to one side. Okay, so if I take this minus 3x across, it was a minus 3x, so when I take it to the other side, it's going to be a positive 3x. Okay, which means I'm going to have 15 is equal to 2x plus 3x. Okay, so that sign in front of it changed. Minus 25. Okay, it's looking better. I've got all the x's on one side now. Now I want to get all the numbers by themselves. So if I were to take the negative 25 across, again, same thing. If I'm taking it across, the minus 25 becomes positive 25. So on that side then, I'm going to have 15 plus 25 is equal to 2x plus 3x. Let's simplify now. So 15 plus 25, that's going to be 40. Okay, so 25 plus 10 is 35 plus 5 is 40. And 2x plus 3x is going to be 5x. Okay, this is looking a lot simpler. And now remember, we want x all by itself. So whatever is in front of the x, we are going to also take across. So I was saying 5 times x on the side. So when I take it across, means I'm going to divide it by 5 on the other side. Okay, so we always just do the opposite. So if I was adding, then I subtract. If I was multiplying, then I divide. Which means I'm now going to have 40 divided by 5 is equal to x. And so that means 40 divided by 5 is 8. So x is going to be 8. Okay, if we look at 4.1.2, it's an inequality question. We follow exactly the same kind of process. So 4.1.2. Minus 3 is less than or equal to 2x minus 7 less than or equal to 7. Okay, and inequality is the same kind of process. We want to try get x all by itself. So what we have to do is we have to get all the numbers away from the x, so it's just x by itself. The only difference is if I'm trying to take, say, this minus 7, I want to move this. I've got to move it across that side and across that side. Okay, so I was minusing 7. If I take it across the inequality, it means I'm going to add 7 on both sides. Okay, which means our inequality is going to look like this. So minus 3 plus 7, and we've got the 2x still, and 7 plus 7. Okay, so let's simplify that. So minus 3 plus 7 is going to be 4. And 7 plus 7 is going to be 14. Okay, we're nearly there. X is nearly by itself, but we still need to get rid of that 2 in front of it. Okay, so remember, I am timesing it by 2 at the moment. So if I take it across, it means I'm going to be dividing it by 2. Because that's the opposite of multiplying. Okay, so what we are going to have is we're going to have 4 divided by 2. We're going to have x by itself, and then 14 divided by 2. Okay, if we then just write this a bit simpler, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And so that is going to be our final answer. So x is greater than or equal to 2, and x is less than or equal to 7. Okay, so that is our final answer there. 4.1.3, we have some brackets and it is an equation that we need to solve. So let's get that one written out. X plus 5, 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, so I think what they might be expecting you to do here is expecting you to try and multiply these brackets out. And you could do that, and potentially that would be a way to solve for this one. But actually the easiest way, if you've got two brackets like this where you're multiplying two brackets and it's equal to 0, what they want you to realize is that one of these brackets has to be equal to 0. Okay, because let's say you had a times b is equal to 0. That means either a is 0 or b is 0, because that's the only way that you'd get 0 as an answer. Okay, so what you have to say then is you just say either the first bracket is 0, so x plus 5 is equal to 0, or the second bracket could be equal to 0. So 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, and you're going to have two answers for this question. So if it's x plus 5 is equal to 0, what we would do is we always want to get the x by itself. So let's take the plus 5 across. It's going to be minus 5. And so we're going to get x is equal to 0 minus 5. So x is equal to minus 5. Or on the other side, a little bit more work, we're going to take the minus 8 across. Okay, remember, minus 8, if we take it across, it becomes plus 8. So we are going to end up with 2x is equal to 8. Take the 2 across, so I was timesing by 2. Now I'm going to divide by 2 on that side. Okay, so we're going to have x is equal to 8 divided by 2. So x is equal to 4. And those are your answers. So it's a bit strange that you do get two answers, but this is exactly what they want. So either x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to 4. Okay, question 4.2. So given, let's write down these given values quick. So 3x is equal to 12. And then the other one is 2x plus y is equal to 2. Okay, so these are kind of simultaneous equations. We've got two variables that we need to work out. So before we jump into, we need to work out this value, but before we jump into that, let's figure out what is x and what is y. So x is the easiest one to solve. If we look at this equation here, we can just take that 3 across. So I was timesing by 3, now I'm going to divide it by 3. And what I'm going to find is I've got x is 12 divided by 3. So x is 4. Okay, I can then use that in this equation. So wherever there is x, I'm going to put 4 instead. So I'm going to say 2 times 4 plus y is equal to 2. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus y is equal to 2. I want to get y by itself so I can just know what y is. So let's take that 8 across. So I was adding 8, now I'm going to subtract 8. So I'm going to get y is equal to 2 take away 8. So that is going to be minus 6. Okay, this is the big thing with simultaneous equations is you want to reach this point where you've solved for x. Okay, so we know x is 4, and we've solved for y. So y is minus 6. We can then work out what they want. So they say, what is the value of x minus y squared? All we're going to do is plug in the values of x and y. So we know x is 4. Yeah, x is 4. Y is minus 6. So minus minus 6 squared. A minus and a minus, this makes a plus. Okay, so this minus minus makes a plus. So we are going to end up with 4 plus 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10 squared. 10 squared is 10 by 10. So 10 times 10, which is 100. That is the final answer for that one. I really hope this video helped. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll keep working through the rest of the questions in another video.